Okay, so this is a video showing my latest install. This is an 89Sabers Darth Sidious, as you can see. It's a really nice hilt, it's got a really nice finish on it. Peter did great work. I know it took him some time, but he got there. And this is for a customer, and he was lucky enough to snag one. So, it's a NeoPixel install with a 22mm speaker in the pommel and the pins inside. The chassis I used was from Afrobaron on Shapeways, and it's running a Proffie 2.2. So let's open it up and we can look at the interior. It's quite hard to do this in gloves. I don't normally wear gloves, but this hilt is so fingerprint prone that you have to really, otherwise it'll look a mess by the end of the video. Okay, so the way you get to the chassis in this hilt is you unscrew with an Allen key or with your fingers, if you can do it thumb tight, this little screw here, and then you just, again with gloves it's hard, you pull this out. There you go. So that slides out, and the first thing you get access to is your recharge port. Let the camera focus on it. There it is. So it's a 1.3mm recharge port for easy charging. The battery doesn't come out, battery's wired in. And the chassis actually comes all the way out like this. So you've got your NeoPixel pins there, two buttons, two switches, two tactile switches are in these little channels here, and when you insert the chassis you have to make sure that the switch channels line up with the buttons in the hilt because they go inside slightly, so you have to make sure they're lined up. It's quite a simple install because there's not much room in here at all. In fact, it was a real challenge to get this to fit, even using PTFE wire. It was unbelievably tight. So yeah, not for the faint-hearted. So then to slide this back in, you just have to line the buttons up, the red and the green buttons with the two channels there. And then the way it works is, if you line this little dot here up with this screw hole here, it's all aligned. So it should just slide in buttons into the channels. There you go. And then this fastens it. The speaker's actually located in the pommel. And even though it's only a 22mm speaker, which I never really get on with, I always think they sound a little bit tinny compared to the 28mm speakers, this one actually sounds surprisingly good. I'd be quite happy if this was my saber. Okay, so red is activation. Green is your auxiliary.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
That's a Vader font. There's a lot of fonts on here.
Go away!
You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Okay, that's a better font for this hilt. Okay, so she's currently got a display emitter that comes with it. It's nice and pinched there, very thin. But it does come with a choice of 1" or 7/8 emitter, and that just screws on to here. So you just unscrew. You just unscrew here. And the whole emitter comes off, and this comes off as well if you needed to polish it or something. And then you just screw the 1" emitter on in its place. It's quite a nice design, that. There we go. So now we've got that on, let's move to a blade demo. Blade demo time, the best bit. So Proffie 2.2 is running the 2.9 fork, and the reason I'm running the 2.9 fork is for the colour change and effect change profile in the one blade style, because I think it's brilliant, and I don't believe that's available yet in the new official version. So I'm still on the 2.9 fork. So we've got a lot of Sidious fonts on here, some Vader fonts, some other fonts. I won't go through them all, but we'll just show some of the effects off. So we've got accent swings in our smooth swing. Incredibly responsive. Really nice. We've got blasters. We've got lock-up. Localized. We've got drag. See the dragging along the floor. We've got lightning. We've got... I think that's it really. Clash. And because this is running the colour change with the fork and the effect change, if I press power and auxiliary at the same time, there we go, and then I swing the blade, it changes colour. Through the greens, the blues, God, the blues are bright. Purple, pink, back to red. And then if I press power and aux, I lock that colour in, and then if I press the power button and just give the blade a kind of a twist like that, get my twist on, there you go. Now it will cycle through blade effects. So we've got a pulse, flame, unstable I think it is, that's flame, raindrop, rainbow, back to normal flicker, unstable, a random flicker, pulsing again, and we're going back through. And then if I want one, so if I want this one, I press power and aux on it and it locks it in. And a nice flame effect, but that's not right for a Sidious hilt, so let me put it back to a more normal, wait for it to come back round. There we go. Also got music tracks on here, so long press and release starts the music, and then we can use the saber.
Once more the Sith will rule the galaxy.
Very nice.
Once more the Sith will rule the galaxy.
And then long press and release to stop. Vader font. It's a Grievous, General Grievous font. So I've got like a green unstable effect on that. Super cool. Love that. What's next?
Go away.
Luke Skywalker. This is a Kylo font, so I believe this wood should be on a Fireblade. Yeah. And when you clash, the white clash goes up the blade. Lovely.
Prepare a boarding party.
Vader? Dooku, being on the red one.
Final steps.
Put a really random flicker on this kind of cyan. It's very cool.
Young Rey.
Another Rey.
Kylo Ren.
Another Kylo.
Luke Skywalker.
Return of the Jedi. This has just got the audio flicker on it, so if you listen, as it ignites, it flickers a lot because the sound is loud, and then the flicker settles down as the hum comes in, which is quieter. Okay.
volts.
Just tell me the battery. I pressed that aux button too long.
Master window.
Mace. This one should have lightning on it, really, shouldn't it? There we go.
Master Qui-Gon.
Bit of Qui. All these, this is Yoda. So all of these fonts, the way they're programmed on the board, is all of the fonts have exactly the same blade preset. So I just copy and paste that one preset to every font bank, and then you can go in to the saber once you've got it, and you can select the colour, you can select the effect that you want for each font. Obviously Yoda's green, Vader will be red, Luke will be blue, etc. And then I've put a line of code in that saves that, so even when you put a kill key in or charge the saber up or it goes flat, it will remember all of your presets when you come back to it. So it's a way of programming the saber without having to take the SD card out or plug it into USB. You can, if you decide that, oh, I'm not so keen on royal blue from a Graflex font, I want a cyan, you can just change it in the colour. Or if it's a really unstable blade, and you want it to be more solid, you can. You don't need to reprogram, and I think that is the beauty of the 2.9 fork with the blade, with the colour change and effect change font. Blade style, sorry.
At last we will have our revenge.
Bit of maul.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just a classic. Love it. Leia's font is kind of quite loud, so it's got a royal blue deep flicker on it, because it feels quite like there's a lot of energy in this font.
Six volts.
Keep doing that.
Savage. Rey Skywalker.
This is like an orangey yellow. Maybe the effect is wrong if I change the effect. There you go, that's a bit more. It looks red on camera, it looks yellow in person.
You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Good music track on this one. Force effects are double tap on the power button. This is nice as well, this Sidious one. It's got sound effects after each blaster or clash.
Oh, the Sith live in me.
It's quite good.
You are nothing. You are nothing.
Make quite good sound effects up on that.
Darth Maul.
I think this has got a good soundtrack. Yeah. Another Graflex font. I said I wouldn't go through all these, but I am, because it's so much fun. Oh yeah, the last font is just the power level indicator, so we're still somewhere at the top, which is good.
There is no mercy.
Back to the last one. So, there you go, Joe. That's for you. Hope you enjoy it. This will be on its way to you in the post very shortly.